Another lovely day in the neighborhood, and yes, it's me. Hi. Anyway, yeah, I made a long response video to Professor Anton this morning. Sorry. And then he did a video talking about YouTube and how YouTube sucks and blah blah blah. And yes, whatever, fine. He just, this whole idea is he just wants to be a preacher. He doesn't want anybody to stand up and say, hey, I think you're full of shit, sir. Yeah. So whatever. These people don't want to argue. They don't want to defend. They don't want to, they don't even want to debate, discuss. No, they just want to preach. So whatever. As to the pointlessness of the whole thing, who the hell knows where it all goes? Will people ever be interested? And that sort of relates to this Tranquil guy. I haven't listened to his video, but I read the description. And he's making the argument that, all this poo-poo talk, all this popping of the pink balloon isn't good for people. It makes them sad to have to accept reality. And, somehow the needs of the people that exist now are more important than the non-existent. Well, then you might as well just say that more directly and say the future is less important than the present. That's what you ought to just say. Just say it. You're willing to compromise the future's welfare for your welfare. And the point is these pink balloon chasers are dangerous. They're not some harmless, we're just trying to be happy. We're minding our own business, trying to be happy. And Gary the Poop is pooping on us. No, afraid not. That's not the context. They're creating the problem, which sort of relates to Conference Reports video, where he's like aghast at the very idea that people have children in completely preposterous circumstances. I mean, no possibility of anything close to a fairy tale existent for that child. Just no chance. And they do it. And they probably don't even do it out of hope. They just do it because that's what they think they're there to do. And so it's just so pink balloon. It's so stupid. It's not even a pink balloon. It's just a balloon. And they're so retarded they'll chase anything. Anything that floats. It doesn't even have to be pink. It's like, they're so used to eating anything. A hunk of, goat shit. They'll chase anything. They'll do anything because they just don't know any better. They're too distracted, by their playing of the game to even come close to looking at the game. And so I argue to this Tranquility guy, and I'll probably argue it louder after I see his video, that this is just bullshit. There's a truth here, asshole. That's what we're attempting to argue, is the fucking truth. And the truth shouldn't be limited by what you think is good for people. That's bullshit. So that's quite irrelevant. Okay, it really is. Whether the truth makes people sad or not is really tough fucking shit. So if you have some argument to make that it's not a truth, that it's not a subject that needs clarification, the most important subject in the universe, what the fuck we're doing here, whether what we're doing makes any sense, whether it has any potential to be at all productive, or whether it has only downside risk, these are sort of important questions. And only a complete ignoramus would sit there and vacate the most important subject to sit there and talk about, how do we get people to have shoes that fit them properly? You want to worry about the symptoms of the world? That's your prerogative. Waste your life fixing symptoms. Yeah, my focus has always been causes. I don't give a fuck. Well, it's not that I don't give a fuck. Effects are to be prevented, not cured. That's how I've always approached life, and that's what we're coming down to a Conference Report again. It's like, how do you account for these differences? People are committing behavior that, I knew at 7 years old was stupid. It was wrong. It was wrong to impose. I knew that. I knew it was wrong for me to take my toy truck and run it to the side of the neighbor's house or something. Or to run over their dog with it or something. I knew it was wrong. And just because, I wouldn't want somebody driving their, Barbie fun wagon over my truck. You know, so yeah, I mean, I got the do unto other thing. And maybe it's because I grew up with sisters, so I knew what the fucking position was. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, I knew it. And it seems innate knowledge. It just seems so fundamentally understandable. And why should we even have to argue this? Why should we even have to defend the idea that people should be conscious of the impact of their behavior? And so now we have philosophers, educated people, arguing that the future doesn't exist yet, so we don't have to account to it. We have no obligation to it. I mean, what the sense? How do you make any sense out of that? So I can destroy something I know is going to exist, with all reasonable certainty. Unless the planet gets hit by a meteor, there's going to be people tomorrow. And that, but no, I should have the belief that I could completely trash this place. Just trash it. Fuck it, right the fuck over. Burn it down when I'm done with it. I could walk through this park, and when I'm done getting my jollies out of it, I can just burn it the fuck down. Because it's just about me. It's not about anything else. It's just stupid. How can fucking intelligent people make these kind of arguments? They're completely inane and nonsensical. So yeah, there's an obligation to those future. And now the question becomes, do you have some obligation when you're going to create people, you're going to create an experiment, to have some hope that the experiment's going to work out okay? To have some reasonable argument saying this makes sense. And I don't, how are you going to make that argument? When has the world seemed perfectly functional, streamlined, on a good course? I don't think it has for most of my life. I mean, not till since like 1969 might have been the peak moment for the human race. The Vietnam War was ending. We were landing on the fucking moon. Yeah, we were kicking fucking ass. We had this life thing. We had Disneyland. We had future visions of the future, and all kinds of shit was going to happen, and things were going to get, automatized and cleaned up, and yeah, it's going to be really kick ass. And then by like 1974, the whole thing was over. Everybody was in polyester. There's fakery everywhere. Everybody lost their soul. And we malaised. Dismally malaised. And by 1980, our cars were little square boxes. Everything had lost its character. And Ronald Reagan was drawing crayon drawings, telling us how everything's going to be okay in Shiny City, because he was going to give the rich people the money to float our boat. Yeah, somehow the rich people are going to make our boats float. Oh, fuck. Yeah, so where in those decades would I find cause to bring a new person into this world? Where I'd find reason to think there was some reasonable prospect he wasn't going to end up on Prozac, or an alcoholic, or a drug addict, or some kind of fatalist loony living in his bomb shelter in Iowa. How the fuck did I have any kind of reasonable prospect that my kid would want to be part of corporate America? They sell fried chicken and make TV commercials that said, "We helped for Shake and Bake." I mean, yeah, I'd want my kid to do that. Yeah, I'd aspire that he'd have a good corporate job with the Shake and Bake Company. Fuck. So I don't know what you were thinking, people. I can't figure out what those nutballs in Nigeria or Nairobi or any of those other fucking hope I never get born there countries. Yeah, who the fuck knows what's in their fucking retarded, ignorant, stupid brains. But what the fuck's in the rest of your brains, you people? What are you aspiring to create here? What are you... Oh, my kids will grow up and fix the world. Yeah, it'll be fun. They'll love going to protests and getting, I don't know, maybe even shot on a college campus. Getting tear gassed by the Google tear gas company. No, fuck you. What a crock of shit. I mean, I just don't know how you can't look at your own lives and say, this is pretty well fucked. You know, I mean, shit. You always find out too late. And so much of what you held on to, so much of what made it make sense, you know, is bullshit. I mean, I always go back to the easy metaphors for myself. I mean, there was a time when I would look in the newspaper to see which baseball team was in first place. And I would actually watch a stupid game to see if my favorite player was going to hit a home run. And I gave a shit about that absolute crap. I mean, it was so embarrassing, I think back to it. And there was an earlier time in my life, you know, when there used to be this prime time soap opera on TV called Dallas. And I'd care to watch. I'd be like, oh, I can't wait for Friday night. Dallas is going to be on. I mean, it was insipid. I'd be sitting there at work, and you know, they played it at 2 in the morning on the Chicago channel or something, and we got that at work. And so I'd be sitting there at 2 o'clock at night, dead tired, watching fucking Dallas. What the fuck is that? It's insane. That's what it is. It's fucking insane. And I know it now. I can see it was just, you're caught up in it. You're addicted to it. I used to watch that with my grandmother and sort of marvel at it. Because she was this industrious workaholic. Always sewing, always cleaning, always moving. But man, when the middle of the day showed up and her stories were on TV, you know, General Hospital and One Life to Give or whatever the fuck it was, yeah, she'd be there. You know, she'd have to see who's gonna fuck who and, you know, who cheated on who. And it's all bullshit. Silly addictions. Needs with no fucking need attached to them whatsoever. Just complete unnecessary nonsense. That's what drives us. And so how can anybody in a rational state of mind say, oh, I'm going to create one of those? And especially when you look at the average douchebag, you know, and just say, oh fuck, what if my kid comes out average? I mean, God, what an embarrassment. You know, fat, dumpy, stupid, fanny packing, you know, I don't know, chit chatter. Yeah, I mean, fuck. Oh, cringe. So, whatever. So the point is that how do we make the argument? How do I tell my... See, I couldn't tell myself. The imposition argument, I can't understand not knowing that one. Because I always knew that one. I mean, I knew that one so early. I can't remember a time when I didn't know it. I mean, the only time I didn't know it was when I didn't even know what dirt was. You have to go way the fuck back. So yeah, I can't imagine transitioning. Because I never had to transition. But the addiction argument, that's one that can sort of be made, I think. Because I think somebody could have explained to me, hey Gary, you know what you're going through right now with this whole Dallas thing or this baseball thing? That's called addiction. So you have a little bit of idol worship here. You've associated yourself with something. And now you're extending your own welfare into their welfare. And but it's complete bullshit psychology. This is completely irrelevant mush. This guy that you're worshiping isn't worth it anyway. Probably beats his wife. You know, and what's the point? So he wins. That means that other guy's going to lose. I mean, I know you don't like that other guy, but why don't you like him? It's probably just because he's opposed to him. It's probably not a good reason. So what's the point in it? What's the point in watching this travesty of I'm better than you? Why do you want to watch a competition that proves nothing, that demonstrates nothing, that accomplishes nothing? I mean, can't you find something better to do with your time, you butthead? And somebody, I think, could have made that argument to me, and I would have gotten it. I would have understood that, oh yeah, psychology. Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, Yeah, okay, I sort of get, yeah, like I'm addicted to cigarettes. They could have made that metaphor and said, you know how you're addicted to them cigarettes even though they burn holes in your $400 suit? Well, you know, in the seat on your damn car, you know, remember that hole in the seat of your car? It really pissed you off? Well, yeah, it's the same stupid addiction. It's just a mechanism inside your brain that says, I need this. But you don't really need it. It's just a fucking illusion of value. The real value is in somebody else's comfort. Somebody else is in pain and you take them out of pain. Well, then you've accomplished something, jackass. If you prevent somebody's misery, then you've accomplished something, jackass. But watching this bullshit, that's failure, fella. I could have understood that, I think. I would hope so, anyway. So I'm going to keep making the argument. I think it's there to be made. What else? What other choice is there? We can fight with words, or we can fight with cruise missiles. I mean, the human race will decide, you know. But you know, there's got to be a fight, and there's got to be a resolution, because our values are incompatible. You know, and that's just not going to work. So the truth either wins, or we all fail with our lies, with our deceptions, with our bullshit, with our dogma, with our fairy tales. That's the way it's going to be. There really isn't a whole lot of choice here. The human race either starts growing up, or it's gonna die hard and ugly and slow and miserable. And I guess the only fun I'll have is saying "I told you so" at the world. I told you so. Yeah, have a little laugh, and then I'll point the gun in my brain and finish me off. You people are nuts. Crazy motherfuckers defending crazy stupid shit for crazy stupid reasons, because you're crazy and stupid. The key word is stupid. It's all based on stupidity. I don't know what the future is. There's a future? What's a future? Doesn't exist now, right? So it's not my problem, is it? No. Yeah, really clever. Dog wants a piece of me, but he failed. Yeah, too bad he failed. Haha. Failure. Yeah. I'm better than you. Haha. Anyway, until next time.